Hello students, KTHM College, Department of Political Science, Class FYBA, FYBCom and FYBSc. The credit subject Democracy, Election and Governance, which is enrolled, we have done some lectures on that. We have seen the history of that background, our constitution, Panchayat Raj, its history, democracy, its dimensions, social, political, and economical. So now the second chapters, decentralization, we have done with our two lectures, but this lecture is most important because we are going to learn about the amendment, which is 73rd and 74th amendment, which is on the Panchayat Raj. So students, in this lecture we are going to focus only on the 73rd Amendment Act, which was done. Okay students, we will begin now. So students, in our constitution there are many amendments made, from preamble to many things. So the most important, which is Panchayat, so it was made, that was 73rd Amendment Act. We will see its significance of the act. So this act added the part 9 to the Constitution of India, and it gave the title to this part the Panchayats, and consists of provision from Article 243 to 243O. Okay, means 243 it is, after that 243A, 243B, up to 243O. And in the addition, the act has also added a new 11th schedule of the constitution. It contains 29 functional items of the panchayat. So the act has given a practical shape to Article 40 of the Constitution, which says that the state shall take steps to organize village panchayats and endue them with such powers and authorities as may be necessary to enable them to function as units of self-government. So this article forms a part of directive principle state policy. So the act has gives a constitutional status to the Panchayati Raj Institute that has brought them under the preview of the justiciable part of the constitution, and its consequences is that neither the formation of panchayat nor the holding of election at regular intervals depend on will of the state government and anymore. Okay, so the provision of the act can be grouped into two categories. First one is compulsory and voluntary. So students, this compulsory and voluntary provisions are there. We will see this in detail afterwards. Okay, first we will see what is the salient feature of this act, which is 73rd Amendment Act. So first one is Gram Sabha. So the act provides for a Gram Sabha. It is a body consisting of persons registered in electoral rolls of village, comprised within the area of panchayat at the village level. Thus it is a village assembly consisting of all the registered voters in the area of panchayat. It shall exercise such power and perform such function at the village level as the legislature of the state determines. Okay, so this is the first picture. After that, the three-tier system. We have seen this three-tier system in which committee? It was the Balwant Rai committee. Okay, so the act provides the three-tier system of Panchayat Raj at every state, that is panchayats at the village, and intermediate and state levels. So the act brings about uniformity in the structure of Panchayat Raj throughout the country. However, a state having a population not exceeding 20 lakh may not constitute panchayat at the intermediate level. So, if a gram panchayat should be practiced, so it has some rules, regulations. Okay, so the population is the main element for that. So we have seen in the Ashok Mehta committee, the population should be 15,000 to 20,000 itself. Okay, After that, the election of member and its chairperson, we will say. So all member of panchayat at the village, intermediate and state levels shall be elected directly by the people. So the chairperson of Panchayat Raj at the intermediate at the state level shall be elected indirectly by the form amongst the elected person thereof. The chairperson of the Panchayat at the village level shall be elected in such manner as the state legislature determines. After that, reservation of seat. So we have seen the reservation seats, means this recommendation was done in Ashok Mehta committee. We have seen the reservation of SCs and STs. So this act provide for the reservation of seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in every panchayat, either at the we will say three levels in the proportion of their population to the total population in the panchayat area. The state legislature shall provide for the reservation of offices of chairperson in panchayat at the village or any other levels of SCs and STs. So the acts authorize the legislature of state to make any provision for reservations of seats in any panchayat or offices or chairperson in panchayat at the any level in favor of backward classes. After that, duration of panchayats. So in every element, in every, we will say in every field, there is a duration of the workings. So in panchayat raj it is the same pattern, it has a duration. So it provides for 5-year terms of office to panchayat at every level. However, it can be dissolved before the completion of its term, and fresh election to constitute a panchayat shall be completed before the expiry of its duration of 5, or in case of dissolution before the expiry of period of 6 months before the date of dissolutions. So this is the duration of panchayat. After that, disqualifications. So it is very important element. So a person shall be disqualified for being chosen as for or for being member of panchayat if it is so disqualified. Means under which provisions, under what are the means dimensions to disqualify a person. So first one is under any law for the time being in force for purpose of election to the legislative of the state concerned, or under any law made by a state legislature. So no person shall be disqualified on the ground that he is less than 25 of age if he has attained the age of 21 years, and all question of disqualification is referred to such authority as the state legislature determines. After that, the state election commission. The superintendence, direction and control of preparation of electoral rolls and the conduct of election to panchayat shall be vested in the state election commission. So it consists of state election commission to appoint by a governor. So we have when we will we learn about the governor. So he has a power and authority. So he appoints the state election commissioner. So his condition of service and tenure of office shall also be determined by the governor. He shall not be removed from the office except in the matter and on the grounds prescribed for the removable by a judge of the state high court. This condition of service shall not be weighed to the of his disadvantage after his appointment. Okay, it is very important point. After that, the power and function. So the state legislature may endow the panchayat with such power and authority as may be necessary to enable them to function as institutions of self-government. So this is the means the scheme may contain provision for devolution of power and responsibilities. Means it is a coin has two faces, means power and responsibility upon a panchayat at the appropriate level with respect. The first one is the preparation of plans for economic development and social justice. And the second, the implementation of scheme for economic development and social justice as may be entrusted to them, including those in relation in 29 matter listed in the 11th schedule. So in 11th schedule there are 29 matters. So we will see some of them. And after that, finance. It's very important. So the state legislature may means authorize the panchayat to leave collection and appropriate tax, duties, tolls and fees, and assign to a panchayat tax, duties, tolls and fees. Provide for making grants and aid to panchayat from the consolidated fund of the state, and provide for constitution of funds to crediting all monies of the panchayat. So a finance commission is allotted, and a finance commission is allotted. Then there is audit of accounts, application to union territories, and many more. After that, the 11th schedule. So we have, it consists of 29 functional items. So we will see which are important, means we will see it. So first one is agriculture, including agricultural existence, land improvement, implementation of land reforms, land consolidation and soil conversion. After that, that is drinking water, rural housing, fuel and fodders, roads, bridges, then libraries, culture activities, markets, where family welfare, women and children development, social welfare, including welfare of the handicap and mental humans, and public distribution system, maintenance of community assets. Means there are 29. It's a big list, and which is done in 12th schedule. Okay, so this is the salient features of the 73rd Act, Amendment Act. So as we have I have said that we will see the compulsory and voluntary provision. So we will see that. Okay, students. So yes, students. We will now means identify separately the compulsory provision and voluntary provision. So it is the act is done in 1992, or the part of 9 of this constitution. So the compulsory provisions comprises of organization of gram panchayat in village or group of villages, establishment of panchayat at the village, intermediate and district level, and direct election to all seats in panchayat at the village, and at the block and district level, indirect election to the post of chairperson and panchayat at intermediate and district level, and 21 years to be minimum at the age for contesting election of panchayat. Reservation of seats, reservation of one-third seats for members and chairmen for women in panchayat at the 3 levels. Okay, then the tenure is there. After that, the establishment of state election commission is there, and after that, the constitution of state finance commission after every 5 years to review the financial position of the panchayat. So this is the compulsory provisions. Now the voluntary provisions is giving representation to members of the parliament, means both the houses, and the state legislature in the panchayat at a different level falling within the constituents, and providing reservation of seats both members and chairperson of backward classes in panchayat at any level, granting power and authority to the panchayats to enable them to function as institutions of self government, and the granting financial power to the panchayat at the that is authorizing them to collect and appropriate tax, duties, toll and fees. So students, this is a compulsory provision and voluntary provision. We have done very basic thing, and try to understand what is that, how compulsory and voluntary provisions are related to the silent feature of the 73rd Amendment Act. Okay, how the duration is there, disqualification, Gram Sabha, after that the 12th schedule, how 29 subject is consist in that. Okay, students. So that's all in the 73rd Amendment Act. So students, we have done 73rd Amendment Act. We will see 74th Amendment Act in the next lecture. So thank you students.